Welcome to another episode of Listen to Us Rant About Movies. My name's Wes Ford.
And I'm Zach Harris.
And we're back after a very long hiatus. I appreciate everyone who has waited it out, but we have lots to talk about. It's going to be well worth the wait, I promise. If you've never listened to us before, what we like to do is we rant about movies and we drink while we do it. And each episode we choose a beer for our discussions. And unfortunately we couldn't get the same one this time, but I chose Funky Buddha's Sweet Potato Casserole Ale in honor of our upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. Zach, what'd you pick?
I have Shorts Brew Autumn Ale, which is a extra special bitter amber ale.
Here we go.
Extra special. That's why I got it.
Extra special.
Yeah.
Not just special.
It's more than special.
Let's give it a little taste.
A little sip. How's yours?
Real tasty. I like it a lot.
Sweet potato. You don't see that very much.
Yeah, it says ale brewed with sweet potatoes, vanilla, and spices. It's like a kind of a sweet, desserty, strong ale. It's
nice.
Good. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
You like yours? Very
yeah,
fall
it's
tasting?
good. I'm into it. I like ambers. It is a little more bitter, which is nice. And I must say, the froth on top is real good. It's a little It's a little thicker than normal. It's like, if you can see, it's just like lingering in like clumps. I can. Which is interesting.
Looks tasty.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Nice. So if you are listening to us for the first time also, you can listen to all of our episodes on iTunes, Google Play. We're also on YouTube. And you can like us on Facebook and follow us on there. And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some news. There's some recent things that have happened in our country's history that I feel are worth talking about. And also, we're going to talk about what we've been watching. We're just going to choose 3 things we've watched lately. And then we have 3 whole reviews for you guys. We're going to review Hacksaw Ridge, Doctor Strange, and then our feature review is going to be Arrival, which we're going to do a spoiler section and a non-spoiler section, because that's a movie you don't want spoiled for you. So, yeah, let's get right into it, Zach.
Let's get into it.
Man, so this past week has been pretty crazy, I think.
Rough week.
A lot, to say the least. Donald Trump was elected president. And if you're going to be listening to us, just know that we're not supporters of him.
Yes. Most certainly not Donald Trump supporters in any way, shape, or form.
If you want to skip this, I'm going to have a time code on the description. You can skip past this discussion, but we also are good friends, and I've been wanting to talk about this with him anyway. And it's also good, I think, to get thoughts out there about our own feelings on the subject,
For sure.
And it's like, I don't know. I'm just, I don't know how much there is to say about it after all this week that I've thought about it, but I don't know. I'm just scared for the future, and I'm concerned about, I'm lucky enough to be a white person. What does this mean for, people of color? This bully being elected as the leader of our nation,
It's crazy. It just feels like this is a gigantic step backwards in a world where we're like making slight progress. Like starting to.
I know. We're starting to get there.
Not that everything was dandy, but like it seemed like things were moving in a good direction. And then the Trump dump just like pooped on all of it.
Despite all even before he was elected, there was all these racist incidents going on. And if you talk to some Trump supporters, they'll tell you, hey, with race, conflicts of race have been worse than ever, and we have a black president. And it's like, I don't think it has anything. I don't think one has to correlate with the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now, I mean, things are definitely going to be worse. Because here you have a guy who basically has made it okay to you know, act out those terrible, sinful feelings that people have about race and about people that are lower than them. And what does it tell you about someone who can be elected as leader of the free world, someone who has no experience, someone who has only looked out for himself and has made it to the top, you know? Like, what does that say about our country?
I know, it's crazy. It's like I forget that people think like this. That this is okay for people. It's like, man, there are a lot of people out there that just think completely different than me, you know? And you kind of forget that until something like this happens.
And it's like, as a human race, we've become more and more self-aware of ourselves with the internet, and it's like we're very aware of our own existence. How is this still a thing? Like, why is this still an issue? Like, why are we going backward towards issues like this? And I think it's mainly, I think there's a lot of ignorant people out there who are holding on to old world views and traditions and saying, this doesn't agree with the way I view the world, so I'm going to fight back. And that's like kind of been a part of this whole divide I feel like we've been having with the country. And everyone feels that, you know? It's just nuts, man.
It's nuts. It's really sad. It's just like really sad that this happened.
I know.
And it's just like, why didn't more people vote? It seemed like everyone just thought, like, I went and saw Hacksaw Ridge on election night because I thought we were recording the next day, you know? And I got out of Hacksaw Ridge and was like, boy, can't wait to go home and watch Trump's speech when he loses. Like, I was excited to see him have to deal with failure. Like, this is going to be great. I get to watch him fail when I get home. Like, amazing.
Yeah.
And I just like got some texts and I was like, man, are these people fucking with me right now? Is this like just people being like, Trump could be president? Like on my phone. Like, no, I can't believe it. Like,
text saying that he was winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, man. I was watching it happen, and I was watching all the coverage, and it was weird because it was going back and forth very strongly. Like, Trump was winning. Then Clinton had a huge sweep of votes, and then it was back to Trump, and then it was Clinton. I was like, but the whole time there was this underlying feeling like, I have faith in Americans that Clinton's going to be elected, you know?
Yeah.
Until near the end, I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, this is gonna happen. He's gonna be elected. And then, sure enough, he was. And I got to tell you, I haven't really had the chance to talk about how I felt the following day. And I felt incredibly sad and just like kind of empty and just like hopeless. It terrified me because I didn't know it would affect me in that way. And also it was just a big slap in the face of realism, you know? Like, this is real. This happened. Like, this is huge.
Totally.
And, yeah.
And like, as scary as he actually is and as dumb as he is, I'm almost just as or more scared just about people's reactions to this being possible.
I know.
Just like all the crazy stuff that I've heard people doing, like all these crazy hate crimes and stuff, and it's just like, man, what's wrong with people? Like,
I know. There are these white supremacists out there, you know, doing like spray painting churches and saying like white church, hail Trump. You know, it's like,
it's just so fucked.
And this is what makes it worse is he's encouraged this behavior.
Yeah.
That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not what you do as president. That's not what you say or do. You are a terrible leader. You have done nothing to make this world better at all. And all you care about is yourself and helping your own riches, It's insane. And I feel like it's these white, blue collar, and also white collar, middle class white Americans have fallen into this illusion that, yeah, you know what? Obama never did anything for us. He was taking away our money and making us pay all these taxes, and he never did anything for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's like one of the reasons why he won is because people are like, yeah, you know what? I want something different because the government hasn't done anything for me, and this is something different, which it is. But
it's not good different. It's just
I'd rather take more of the same than something that's just like completely negative,
Yeah. Well, people just unfortunately don't see it that way. It being completely negative, which is insane. Like just seeing random people's like posts, not anyone I know, but I saw some article just with a bunch of lists from or whatever, and just someone saying like probably like a mid-20s, like very clean cut white guy who just said, finally, our like my people's voices have been heard or something like that. It's like finally I can be heard, and it's like, are you fucking serious? Like, it's just like the definition of entitlement. It's insane.
I know.
Like, I just can't believe it. Like, I don't know.
Oh yes, all the damage us white people have gone through.
Yeah, boy, I can't believe
we've only been the ruling race for thousands of years.
It's just so insane, and just like the ignorance of privilege is baffling.
It is.
And
what also terrifies me too is the I guess, lack of words, dumbification of like the rejection of knowledge is a big thing. Like the rejection of realism. Because what happens when it doesn't matter what they say, all facts are thrown out the window.
Yeah.
That's scary. That is scary. The fact that now we have a leader and a cabinet and a whole, leadership that it doesn't matter the truth. It's only what they say is the truth. That is fucking terrifying.
Totally.
Because where could that go? Could go anywhere. It's like, this is like what and this is how it relates to what we're talking about. Like what we do is we do movies, and our movies have taught us many lessons, and I feel like this is a lesson that I've learned through stories and history and just common fucking sense that this is not the right choice.
It's not.
And that's really all I have to say about it. But
yeah, I don't have much to add. It's just
yeah,
it's rough.
Yep, it's rough, and I think hopefully a lot of people listening to this agree with us. But if not, well, you're entitled to your own opinion. But I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
You are entitled to your own opinion.
You are entitled. Yeah. So anyway, moving on to lighter topics. We got that out the door. I'm glad we got to talk about it a little bit, Zach, because, it is what it is. But, in lighter news, let's talk about what we've been watching lately.
Cool.
What are the top 3 things? We'll just do all yours first, and then we'll do mine, of what you saw recently.
I saw both new Jim Jarmusch films.
Ooh.
Patterson and Gimme Danger. And I guess I'll talk about Patterson first. Played at Chicago International. Those who don't know, Jim Jarmusch movie stars Adam Driver as a bus driver, which is really funny, in Paterson, New Jersey, and he's a poet. And that's kind of just the movie. He has a wife that is pursuing her own art, and it's him talking to her and then driving a bus and writing poetry, and it's pretty even keel the entire movie, and it's just like a really nice little movie that I wouldn't expect Jim Jarmusch to make.
Interesting. I haven't even heard of that movie, so
oh yeah,
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it a lot. It's just weird to see a Jim Jarmusch movie where there's like goofy dog reaction shots. Like there's a silly dog in the movie that like you laugh at multiple times, and it's great. Like I love the silly dog, but it's like, man, this is a Jim Jarmusch movie with this like goofy bulldog guy that's just being super funny the whole time. I don't know. It's good.
Nice.
I liked it though. It was real nice. And then I saw Gimme Danger, which, for those who don't know, is a documentary about the Stooges that I guess Jim Jarmusch has been working on for a very long time, and then had like sworn off and like canned and then picked back up and stuff. Huh. And it was good. It was for fans of the Stooges. It's definitely a good thing to see. There's lots of good footage and like. It's a well-made rock doc, but it's a rock doc. Like, I was kind of hoping that he would do something a little different. And, like, I was basically expecting to see a Jim Jarmusch movie, and I saw a rock doc about the Stooges. And there wasn't, like, there's some cool editing stuff in it that's different, but it was pretty standard rock doc. Gotcha. But that being said, like, I mean, that's good if that's what you're looking for. But there wasn't
it's just not what you were expecting.
Yeah, there wasn't as much of a Jarmusch flair. Didn't like need to be made by him, basically. Which was
Did he just produce it?
No, he directed it.
Oh, he directed it too. That's interesting then.
Yeah. Yeah, it just I mean it was really good. But
maybe he just wanted to make a standard rock doc.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
But
there's some cool overlays and like some neat editing tricks, but not reinventing the wheel.
Gotcha. Okay. And you got another?
Yeah, what was my other one? Oh, yeah. I watched a movie that I've been looking forward to for a long time called The Greasy Strangler. Have you heard about this movie?
No.
Directed by Jim Hosking, who I believe is a first-time director, feature-wise. And, yeah, I was really looking forward to this. There had been a few stills, and it just looked real silly. And, like, this is an old man wearing this, like, pink turtleneck sweater with really long white hair. And I was like, ooh, this looks nice. I wanted to love this movie. Like, the first 30, 40 minutes, I was like, this movie's the fucking best. I was loving it.
Yeah?
And, man, they just, like, really fucked it up. Which is, it was a huge bummer. It's my force feed of the year. Like, I'm just gonna keep trying to make myself like it because so much of it's good, but it kind of just falls off at the end. It's too long, and the end they like kind of opt. There's like not necessarily like I know how they should have ended it, but they kind of just opt to end things as like a big joke that like doesn't mean anything, and not that it's the most to be taken serious movie or anything, but I don't know, it just felt really stupid. And then it got even dumber and I was like, oh, what's all this? And then there was something that I was like kind of offensive and then I was like, man, they really fucked this up. Yeah.
Just kind of fell apart at the end, huh?
Yeah, it was so great. It had an awesome style and like I still definitely appreciate it for what it is. Maybe I'll like it watching it more a second time. But yeah, it was just kind of a bummer. I was really, really loving it. And then
what's that movie called?
The Greasy Strangler.
The Greasy Strangler.
It was good.
Interesting.
It's like worth
good, except for the end.
It was worth a watch. Like I enjoyed
the watch.
I enjoyed 45 minutes to an hour of it. And then the last 30 minutes was just like real poopy.
Yeah.
But
well, maybe it's worth a rewatch.
Yeah, maybe.
Like you said, maybe Maybe you'll find some more value out of the end or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. Excited to see what that guy makes next.
Okay.
So, yeah. There's a lot of old man prosthetic penises, which was really funny.
So that's always funny.
Yeah. But anyway, what about you? What have you been watching?
Well, I've been watching Westworld.
Oh, yeah? How's that been? I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't watched any of it?
Mm-mm.
It's started since our last episode, so we haven't talked about it at all. But I'm really digging it, man.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's pretty good. The first episode, I was like, I'll give it a couple more. The second episode hit me, and I was like, I'm hooked. This is great. This is like, it's good, real solid sci-fi.
Nice.
And it's cool because it presents all these ideas that makes you think, and there's already like tons of fan theories about where it's gonna go. And in last night's episode, some very big plot point was revealed, and a lot of the fans are happy. But it's really good, man. I say check it out. It's gonna be the next Game of Thrones. Like it's gonna replace that, which is what they want and what
totally.
they need. Because that's going away. But it's real solid, man. I think you dig it a lot.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch it. Just haven't had time to watch too much.
Yeah, it's cool because it's a real good blend of just like futuristic sci-fi with like a nice taste of Western,
Yeah, totally.
Which is
I mean,
awesome.
I like the original movie.
I see. I've actually never seen the original movie.
It's pretty good. I remember liking it.
Yeah, I hear there are a lot of differences though between
I'm
the
sure.
show and the movie.
Just from what I've seen of the show, it seems like totally like a new
they
thing.
Modernized it. They're going different ways with it. But I definitely check it out.
For sure.
It's HBO. You can't really go wrong most of the time there.
A couple of good folks.
Another movie I got to see, which I just hadn't been able to see until now, was John Wick.
Oh, nice. What'd you think?
I thought it was decent. I think I was expecting something a little more because it had been talked up.
Yeah.
Probably the past year and a half.
And I feel like
so.
the whole reason it got talked up was because no one was expecting like anything. And then and then it was just like, yeah, it's good. So everyone's like, holy shit, it's like, good. Like,
it's pretty good actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a pretty solid B movie.
Yeah, totally.
Very much like an action B movie.
Yeah.
Which, it's fine. I just was expecting, I think, a little bit more, but for what it is, totally succeeds in what it's trying to do. Really solid action movie, and Keanu Reeves kicks ass. And what made me really want to watch it was the fact that they're making a second one.
Yeah, totally.
So I was like, I gotta see the first one now. So yeah, overall it was pretty decent. I don't know if it's like a movie that you probably could pop in and be like, hey, let's just watch some crazy action.
Oh yeah, totally. That's how I saw
kick
it.
ass.
It's just like, let's just watch some outrageous action movie. And I like that it very much does like know what it is. It's not really aspiring to much more. It's just like, yep, that's just like, that's it. It's John Wick.
I respect also the amount of work that went into like a lot of those scenes. Like Keanu Reeves did all his own stunts. He trained for like weeks to be able to do a lot of the stuff that he did.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He did like all this combat training and actually did all his own stunts, and it's pretty cool. So good for him. He doesn't look it, but he's like 50.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But he's just like
old timer Keanu.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, good stuff.
Nice.
And the last thing I saw it on Netflix. A movie called The Invitation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Came out earlier this year. I was curious. It's marketed as a horror, but I wouldn't really call it that.
Yeah.
It does have some elements of horror. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, you did watch it. It was okay. It was decent.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything outstanding, but it surprised me, and it's worth a one-time watch. I'd say.
Yeah, it's like if you think if it's up your alley and you think you're gonna like it, you might, like, you probably will, but it's not doesn't really bring anything new. For me, I just like really don't like that actor.
I know you don't.
I'm not a fan of that guy.
Yeah, he's all right. I don't really have that much of an opinion on him, but I totally get where you're coming from.
To me, it just seemed like a thing where I don't know. I guess what I'm gonna say is gonna spoil stuff, so maybe I shouldn't say it.
Yeah, maybe not spoil.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like it's building towards something the whole time, and then it's kind of just like, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The very ending was cool. Like, I thought that was a cool idea, but
you kind of knew where it was going.
Yeah.
And then it keeps building to that, and then finally it's exactly what you thought would happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like, while that switch is executed pretty well, it's like, movie could have been like 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Could have been more
and
effective, shorter.
Some plot points were just a little like, why? Like, why'd they do that?
Yeah, like the guy locking all the doors, and everyone's like, chill out, man. Like, what? He locks his doors. It's like, yeah, it's kind of weird, right? We're all locked in here, and everyone's like, nah, dude, it's totally fine. Like, you're weird. And it's like, no, I think this guy's weird. And you as an audience member is just like, yep, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like the common theme, like, okay, you're pretty weird. We get this is like really hard for you, but chill out.
Yeah, it's like, no, guys, like, I don't know.
And then he just like really goes off the deep end.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm right.
Yeah.
You're wrong. And then shit hits the fan. But yeah, I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So those are my what I've been watching.
Nice. Real quick, have you picked up anything at the Criterion sale?
I did. I wanted to pick up a lot more than I did, but my girlfriend has restricted me because it's going to be some Christmas presents.
Oh, I get you.
So I was able to purchase one of those smaller ones I was interested in, which was Pan's Labyrinth.
Nice. I picked that up as well.
I was like, this is pretty cool. So I watched that recently.
Nice.
I hadn't seen it in years, and I was like, yep, glad I bought this.
Yeah, totally.
What about you?
I went a little wild. I got a bunch of them. I got
You probably got all the ones I want.
I got Lone Wolf and Cub and Decalogue for my birthday.
Nice.
Which I haven't delved into yet, but I also got Blood Simple.
I've always wanted to. I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
I really, want to watch it.
Oh,
yeah.
It's real good. I just watched it, the Criterion.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
holds up.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. It's real good. You can definitely see the Coen brothers, like,
style starting to come out.
Yeah, they're coming into their own. It's nice.
It's pretty good.
But yeah, I got that. I got The Executioner, which I haven't seen, but I was very interested in. What else? McCabe and Mrs. Miller.
Did you get Punch Drunk?
Sean got me Punch Drunk for my birthday, so
there you go.
Yeah. I haven't gotten it yet because it comes out tomorrow, right?
I thought it was out already.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's just coming tomorrow in the mail.
Yeah, probably that.
But yeah. Yeah.
Nice. They got some good ones in the last couple releases. Yeah, man. Totally. Got some real solid flicks coming out.
It's crazy. Everything that comes out in November, I'm like, well, shit, I want that. I gotta get Dreams too, the Kurosawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been killing it.
Love it. Have you heard about their new streaming service?
I have. I'm thinking about doing it. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, it makes sense on a business level. They got to keep
totally
up with everything because basically you and I buy Blu-rays anymore. So.
Yeah, not many people are buying Blues.
But yeah, they got to stick with the business. So it's interesting.
It's cool that all the special features are on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have all the content from all the discs. And occasionally more, too. So, yeah. That's pretty wild.
Oh, my dog's running around. You guys may hear my dog bark or run around.
But yeah, I'm thinking I might have to hit up that sale one more time before it goes away. Oh, I also got The Valley of the Dolls and Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Haven't seen Valley of the Dolls. Seen Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
I haven't seen either one.
But Beyond the Valley of the Dolls is good. It's super goofy. But
nice, man.
Yeah.
I would love to see your top 10 list, Criterion.
Oh, it's too hard.
Oh, come on, you can do it. I always try and keep like one at least every once in a while. I update mine on the Criterion site.
Oh yeah.
Just to have it for fun.
No, totally.
But,
I should do one.
You should do one.
Well, I know right now that Down by Law and Fantastic Planet are on there.
Yeah?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, man.
Because those are two of my faves in general, you know. Probably.
Bet you Seven Samurai?
Yeah, probably Seven Samurai.
Yep.
Probably, shit, what was I just thinking of? Brazil.
Oh, yeah. Those
What's
are both
that?
on mine.
What do you got there? 5? Halfway there. Videodrome. Totally.
Yeah, nice.
Because it's like you gotta curate the list, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I could go on
Yeah,
all
think
day, just like, all right, love the bread, love this. Love You Too Mama, love Eraserhead. I'm just scrolling down Criterion. This is the site right now.
What about some of the more quote-unquote classic ones, like 8.5 or...
8.5 is real good. Also, though, are we factoring in... Are these, like, favorite movies on Criterion, or are these, like, favorite Criterion releases? Like, does the release factor into the list, or is it purely the film?
I always kind of think of it as the film.
Okay.
Like,
because there's...
your favorite films that are on Criterion.
Okay, yeah.
Like, your favorite Criterion films.
Mm-hmm. So what do I have? 6? I don't know if I can...
You don't need to curate a whole list right now.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this. I can confirm 6.
That's pretty good, though. Those are all solid.
Those last 4 are too... That's where it gets a little, you know...
Yeah.
A little wishy-washy. I don't know what makes the cut.
Like, for me, Bottle Rocket's on there.
Nice. Bottle Rocket's good. Ooh, maybe Houseu? For me?
What about House?
Yeah, that's
it?
Yeah.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah, I think I could safely say House is on there. From the Criterions, you know. Think about favorite movies. Anyway, yeah, all right.
Anyway.
7.
Maybe one day we'll do a Criterion episode or something. Speaking of top 10s, I'm looking forward to our annual top 10 episode.
Yeah, it'll be good. I
2016.
haven't really thought about it that much. I know what my top 2 are thus far. Could switch it up. Well, we'll see. You know, I'm not spoiling anything.
Okay, good. I've been thinking about mine just today because I was thinking about us recording today, and I was like, yeah, top 10 coming up. Like, what would my top 10? I started to curate a list.
Nice. What's your number 1?
And I can't say. I don't know my number 1 yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the number 1. I kind of know like the general movies that'll be in that realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Haven't labeled them yet.
I always have the problem like I just had where I can come up with like half that are like definitely these, and then it's like I don't know about these other slots though. Like,
yeah, same.
Yeah,
it'll be a finely crafted list, and maybe we can get Sean back on here.
Yeah, totally. I'm sure
for the annual list.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be into it.
Nice. All right, well, let's move on to our first review. Let's talk about some little Hacksaw Ridge.
Well, Hacksaw action.
I'm sorry, Sergeant. I can't touch a gun.
I think this is cowardice. Why do you still here?
You are free to run into battle without a weapon to protect yourself.
You better come home to me.
Fall back! Dawson's still up there.
Please, Lord, help me get one more.
You've done more than any other man could have done.
All right, so Hacksaw Ridge is the newest film by Mel Gibson. Good old Mel.
Mel.
Good old Mel. So it stars Andrew Garfield, Sam Worthington, Luke Bracey. Those are the top stars. And it's I'll just read a synopsis from IMDb. World War II American Army medic Desmond T. Doss, who served during the Battle of Okinawa, refuses to kill people and becomes the first man in American history to win the Medal of Honor without firing a shot. What are your general thoughts on this movie, Zach?
Well, you know I love me some Apocalypto.
Mm-hmm.
So I had high hopes. I was very excited to see this movie. Mel Gibson's got a new movie out. And I don't know, Mel Gibson totally dropped the ball. He dropped it, the ball like rolled into a storm drain and just got like carried away and you can't see it anymore. I don't know, maybe it's not that bad, but it was a thing where I saw it and maybe I was just in a little bit of denial. I was like, you know what? Like it was fine. Like it was cool, whatever. And just thinking about it, it's like I don't think it was. I think it was bad. Like I think I don't like this movie at all. Like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just it's kind of outrageous. It's a little ham-fisted.
I wasn't a huge fan either. I will say I kind of I walked out of the movie and I was like, that was, it's a good story. It's a good true story, but in the end it's just like not. It's just some of the execution of the movie was just odd to me. It was just some of it felt very overproduced.
Totally.
Some of the effects, hands down, awful.
Yeah.
Like bad.
That green screen when they're on the top of that mountain. Yeah. It was no good. It felt like it was like needed to be twice the budget.
Yeah, it was very low budget, you could tell. And the digital gun wounds really got me. I was just like, I hated that.
Yeah, it's no good.
It wasn't very practical at all. But people who don't understand filmmaking would probably really enjoy it. Like I think I tweeted about it. I said Hacksaw Ridge is your dad's next favorite movie. Which it's such a dad movie.
I feel like it's a good movie for the right person. That person is not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too much.
The religious undertones.
Yeah, and it's like I'm all for a movie like coming out and being religious, but like don't just like it was just like so forced and slamming it right in your face.
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving was a little outrageous. He looked like Sam Neill.
That was unexpected.
Yeah.
That was unexpected. I was like, whoa, what?
I thought it was Sam Neill at first, and I was like, this is Hugo Weaving. I don't know. It's weird. It looks like Sam Neill.
Yeah.
It was overlit, too.
It was, overlit.
Overscored as well.
And it's not, you can't compare it to Saving Private Ryan, which is what their marketing team has decided to do. Yeah. It's the best film since Saving Private Ryan. And it's like,
nope.
It doesn't even compare.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Not to toe. And I don't even know, I don't know. Like, I can't be like, this one's better, but it's like, not this one. Like, that can't be true. Like,
yeah. Also, it didn't really feel like it was ingrained in the time enough. You know, it felt like it was a play. Like people were dressed up, pretending to be in the past.
It felt like a TV show to me. It didn't feel like a movie.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the budget.
Yeah,
that's the.
It felt like 3 episodes of a TV show you watch like together.
Yeah,
and yeah.
I expected a lot more war scenes.
Yeah.
Like that was just the end of the movie.
Yeah.
You know? It
Which
was all build up.
I'm not complaining about, but was unexpected for sure.
Yeah. I just thought there'd be more focus on that.
The war scenes that were there were pretty good. It was just it was frustrating
some decent stuff
when there was like it was like pretty good, and then they would do something that was really cool, and it would just go away really fast and just become really normal again. It's like, you have the cool stuff, like you shot it, you're just like barely using it. Like that shot that's like pulling back and all the soldiers like coming up and like hitting each other in the face, and it's just like pulling back over like a ton of them.
Yeah.
Like, remember? It's like, that was a cool shot. And it holds, it's like cut over. And then that's the, you know what I mean? There's that like top down of the gun, and there's like stuff like that I hadn't seen in a movie like this. And they just like felt like it was like covering other cuts. You know what I mean? Like they weren't like they weren't making any sort of style with it. And I guess I see the point that it's trying to like do like a throwback thing, but it just like didn't work. It just came off overlit and too dramatic.
A little cheesy.
Yeah.
A little cheesy. But yeah, I don't know how much else to say about it, honestly. I just I walked out, I was, it's fine. It's fine. But like I probably won't ever see it again. And it is a movie that your parents will probably enjoy, but it's not a movie that really clicked with me.
And also, what's up with his brother just disappearing from the movie?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. The whole beginning, they build up this whole relationship with the brother, and then it's just like, what happened to the brother?
Yeah,
what happened?
You're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. He just disappeared.
It's outrageous. Like, I don't know.
And the wife, too, right?
Yeah, she just vanishes from the movie all of a sudden also.
And then it's just the movie is just him pulling these people out, which, again, real honorable, true story. That's cool. But
also,
it just felt like a weird directing style.
Yeah, it was weird. Also, that slate at the end that said he saved didn't say he saved 70 some people or something like that.
Yeah.
That was total.
Something like that.
Did you get the impression that he lowered 70 people?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think that was total over the whole course of all the battles.
Oh, of all the battles, not one battle?
It just seems, or at least that's what I saw or read. Sean looked it up after we saw it. Kind of misleading, kind of misleading in Slate, if that's what I'm understanding as true.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, is that not true?
It's pretty misleading if that's not the case. Let's see.
I don't know.
Let's look up old Desmond Doss. Doss is up there. Also, what's up with Andrew Garfield not having that little pencil stash? Should have made him have it. I would have liked the movie better.
What pencil stash are you talking about?
If you look up Desmond Doss.
Did he have one
mustache.
like in real life?
Yeah.
It's really funny. It's an interesting choice to cast Andrew Garfield. He did a decent job. I mean, he did the part, but it doesn't seem like his type of movie. Maybe it is.
All right, I can't find this.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
So, what would you rate? What would you rate Hacksaw?
I don't know, 2.5, 2. I can't decide.
I'll be nice and say 2.5.
All right, I'll go 2 then.
Oh, you gotta give me the higher score. That's fine.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm a soft 2.5, hard 2.
That's
it's like parts of it were like, okay, I get this, like, fair enough.
There's some entertaining stuff in there.
It was mainly just like dudes coming off Apocalypto. Come on.
Yeah.
No contest.
It's like none.
If they're running a race, the gun goes off, Apocalypto already finished, and Hacksaw Ridge is just
just like
no
starting.
Contest. No contest.
All right, well, let's move on to our review of Doctor Strange.
You think you know how the world works? You think that this material universe is all there is? But what if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
What the? This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything has to, Doctor Strange. Through the mystic arts, we harness energy and shape reality.
The Avengers protect the world from physical dangers. We safeguard it against more mystical threats.
Come with me.
You'll die protecting this world, Mr. Doctor. Mr. Doctor. It's strange. Maybe. Who am I to judge?
Doctor Strange is the newest Marvel film from Marvel Studios in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's directed by Scott Derrickson and stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I can never say his name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor, right? Is
Yeah,
that it?
the very talented African American actor, and Rachel McAdams. A former neurosurgeon embarks on a journey of healing only to be drawn into the world of the mystic arts. Now, warning, will probably spoil this movie, so just be warned of that. Zach, what are your thoughts?
If I'm being candid, I will say I missed about 15 minutes of this film. I fell asleep. I had to go see a late showing of it, and I fell asleep like right when he was doing like the training montage, and then I woke up like shortly after. So maybe I missed something important, but
I don't think so.
I don't know. I thought that this is a lot better on paper, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a lot of the visuals were really cool, but that they didn't hold them long enough. It seemed like those shots were just really expensive, so they couldn't hold on them as long as they wanted, is what it felt like to me. Maybe not.
It's probably true.
But yeah, and also for me, I guess I don't know, he comes around in the end, but it was just like I just like hated his character so much like when the movie was starting that like it was hard for me to like come back and root for him, because he was just like the biggest asshole imaginable in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel
it's
that
like
way.
Yeah, and it's like with other movies like this, it's like Tony Stark's an asshole and he's charismatic, so it's like more okay or whatever, and like he's like a super genius, you know, so you're like, well, he's an insane genius who can like develop these crazy things, whereas like he's just a very, very talented surgeon, which I'm not saying isn't like impressive. It's definitely impressive, but like I don't know, he just I just like really didn't like him from the start, so it was hard to like get into it for me.
Overall, did you like it or dislike the movie?
I think I kind of just thought it was like fine.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I didn't like his story or his character as much, but I thought a lot of the set pieces were cool. So it kind of just like it kind of balanced out for me.
I get you. Did you know anything about the character going in?
Not especially. Not anything like that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd read them when I was younger, but I don't really remember anything about it.
Yeah. I got you.
So I can see like with having like knowing all that it would be a very different like experience watching it.
My thoughts on the movie. Overall, I liked it. It wasn't my favorite. I think it had some problems too. I had some problems with the pacing of the editing. I felt like it was too fast. It needed to give time to his training, especially when it talks about
Totally.
How'd you become a talented, well-known doctor? How'd you become a good surgeon? Years of practice. Okay, then show me years of practice of doing it with this magic shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did think the visuals, were pretty cool. I saw this in IMAX 3D, and I will say that was a pretty awesome experience. The sound was amazing.
Yeah, that'll look
and the 3D
really cool.
The 3D was actually really cool. That's like, I'm not like a 3D guy, but that's a movie I'd say, hey, go see that in 3D. It was pretty cool.
For sure.
But yeah, I think I also have maybe a different perspective because I know a little bit more maybe than the average viewer about Doctor Strange. I've read some of his comics, not like a lot, but I've read like a decent amount of Doctor Strange. I know what the character is.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's hard to. They didn't give him really any true redeeming qualities. He's just like an asshole, which that's what he is in the comics. He's like an egotistical person, but he also becomes like this embodiment of magic. Like he's not even like a real human being. Eventually,
yeah.
He's sort of just like a guy that shows up every once in a while and doesn't have like a lot of depth behind him, but he's like kind of like the protector behind the veil. Like he's protecting Earth from extra dimensions. He's that guy.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have like a lot of interactions with like the main heroes. So it's odd to see him have like a blockbuster origin story. You know what I mean? Throughout the comics, he's just like this side character who shows up and interacts when things are like super dire. Yeah. And maybe that's the intent of bringing Doctor Strange in, is to be that guy in the MCU. So it's strange to see him have this origin story, this big blockbuster origin story. But what they did with it was cool. I do like some of the places they went with it, as in having this big egotistical guy face the ultimate egotistical like being, which is like I don't even know his name, but like that godlike figure in the other dimension, and then turning his ego against him. That stuff is cool. I thought bringing the magic into it was interesting.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think the pacing was off. I think it was moving way too fast.
It was real fast.
It was just like,
it was crazy.
He felt like, how long did he train for? It felt like a week. Like how long was it? Because he didn't feel like he was gone very long. It should have been like years.
Yeah,
and
totally.
also, they made it up for the movie, but him finding the place was too easy. Like he should have been searching for that. Like he stumbles across it, like Batman style. That's what I would have liked to see.
It was
pretty
pretty
easy for him to
like,
get there.
what? He just shows there and asks like 3 people, and then he just finds this like sacred temple. Come on, guys.
And now he's just the ultimate sorcerer. I mean, come on.
Yeah. It was a thing where it was so easy to become in the context of the movie that like it gave nothing special to his character because it seemed like anyone could have done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they just like believed in what they were doing. And so it's like, so why am I watching this asshole? You know what I mean? Like, and I understand the point, but it was things like him like driving that like super nice sports car. And it's just like, okay, so this guy's an egomaniac, but he's also just like kind of douchey. Like speeding in sports. You know what I mean? Like they could have had that character be more likable, but not been like a charismatic. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I get it. But they didn't give him any redeeming qualities in the end. He was just like an asshole who saved the world. Mm-hmm. And I think that just comes down to the script, because Benedict Cumberbatch is a very likable person. I thought he did well for what he was given.
Yeah, I'd agree.
He looked the part. He was perfect casting, look wise and acting wise. He was Doctor Strange. But yeah, I think just like some script things, some editing things, some directing could have been affected. It wasn't it wasn't a bad movie. Marvel has made some bad movies, but it wasn't like great. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
So, overall entertaining. It like I said, worth watching in 3D. That's very entertaining.
Yeah, I bet the 3D was really cool.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And yeah, I mean he's going to be part of the MCU moving forward. So looking forward to seeing him interact with like Iron Man and other stuff. And did you stay for the after credit scenes?
I didn't see the second one, but I saw the first one.
Yeah, the first one was the better one. So that was cool, I guess.
Yeah, Thor and drinking the beer or whatever. It's super outrageous.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there was something else I had to say, but I don't remember right now. And it was a lot funnier than I thought it would be. It was a lot more lighthearted, which I think is good because you can't take a movie like Doctor Strange and make it serious.
No, totally. I mean, when someone's like, because when he was still a doctor, it was outrageous. Like, Strange, what are you doing? Oh, that's strange. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Like, just change his name. Like, this seems weird. Like,
yeah, right.
This isn't playing.
As a comic book reader, I enjoyed having him be in the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is his home in New York. That's just cool. Like seeing that there and how he got his cape and everything.
Yeah.
That kind of like nerdy stuff. It was definitely homages to people who've read him before.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I wish they had given him a little bit more redeeming qualities. Like he was just like a dick, but they should have. Something in the script should have been made to make him likable in the end.
Yeah. Or just like have him
Yeah.
be like a egotistical asshole about being a surgeon, but also not like obsessed with like money and monetary stuff. Because he just had like an insanely nice, like slick apartment and like sports car. You know what I mean?
Right.
He just seemed like an asshole, like someone I wouldn't like.
Yeah. Well, he's a lot like Iron Man in a way, mixed with like a shittier Batman.
Yeah. Iron Man and a shittier Batman. Doctor Strange. That's a good box quote. It's like Iron Man and a shitty Batman.
One thing I do like about, I think just the character in general though, is I like the idea of this like superhero amongst all these other superheroes. There's one that's like fighting between the cracks, Yeah. He's like a guy that's like protecting in like a layer of the dimension that we can't even see or perceive. Like he's just like, I think that's on that level is kind of cool.
Totally.
So,
and I think now that they got all this origin stuff out of the way, maybe they could make a sequel that like I would like more. That can just start and it's like, okay, he's Doctor Strange. Like if it had just started with him already as Doctor Strange and you just like find out in like some 10-minute prelude like how that happened, I would have been okay with that,
I would have been okay with that too. But he might have needed an origin story for maybe general audiences, just because people going into it are like, I don't even know who this guy is,
Yeah, that's true.
So now that's out of the way, it's like, all right, now we can move on. He can be part of the Avengers and everything.
Yeah.
So the costumes look slick though. His
Yeah,
costume was
it was
awesome.
cool. It was also a thing that like I feel like I'm a little more sore about the movie because things like his costume and like the cool visuals and stuff seemed like they were gonna elevate it, and it was like because it with small changes it could have been so much better. It makes it like more frustrating,
Yeah,
But yeah,
I get you.
Sorry to interrupt, but those costumes were pretty nice.
Yeah, they were cool. And I do like how they tied it in, again, spoiler, tied it into the MCU with the Infinity Stone, his necklace.
Yeah. Totally.
That was made up for the movie.
Oh, yeah?
That was made up for just like, their Marvel movie universe, which ties it into everything else. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
In that respect. That's how he gets tied in. So that was smart. on that end. Mm-hmm. But what would you rate it?
I don't know. I'd say for a Marvel movie, I'd give it a 3.5. But just as a movie, I'd give it a 2.5.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'd say hard 3, soft 3.5.
Nice.
Yeah. I generally liked it, but it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't my favorite. I probably enjoyed it more than like most audience members.
Yeah.
But I had a fantastic experience seeing it in IMAX 3D. Like that was,
yeah, which I bet was sweet.
It was pretty cool.
I saw it
really
at like 10:30, like only person in the theater, really tired, which was probably not the best time to go see it.
No, not the best. But cool, man. Let's move on to our final review. We're gonna do a non-spoiler section of the new film Arrival, and then we'll talk about spoilers. Starting right now.
There are days that define your story beyond your life. Like the day they arrived.
Signs of what might be called first contact. The objects measure at least.
I'm Colonel G.T. Weber from Army Intelligence. Pack your bags. You're at the top of everyone's list when it comes to translations. Priority 1. What do they want? Where are they from? You'll be reporting to me, but you'll be working with him when you're in the show.
That's what they call in the UFO.
Who's being carted off in the medevac?
Not everyone is wired for what you're about to do.
So what do they look like?
You'll see soon enough.
Every 18 hours, a door opens up. That's where we go in.
It's done. Yeah, that just happened.
What happens now?
They arrive.
They need to see me.
Dr. Banks? Are you insane?
Arrival is the new film by director Denis Villeneuve. It was written by Eric Heiserer, who wrote the screenplay, and it's based on the short story by Ted Chiang. And it stars Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Forrest Whitaker. And the plot summary, very short, is a linguist is recruited by the military to assist in translating alien communications. That is the most basic, simplest form of the plot you can get to right there. Let's just talk about our general thoughts. We're just going to talk real quickly about our general thoughts on it because the whole movie is really a giant spoiler. So we'll talk about how we felt about it, and then we'll talk about the real details after. So, Zach, what were your thoughts on Arrival?
I liked it. All right. I didn't love it. I didn't like. When I saw the trailers, I definitely thought it was a movie that like looked good.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like the rest of his movies that I've seen Enemy Prisoners and Sicario. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with all of those, they looked like movies that I wouldn't necessarily see that he really elevated and made very good. You know what I mean? Especially totally. Sicario. Sicario is real good.
Sicario is great.
And I don't think I would have necessarily liked that in someone else's hands, you know?
I totally agree with
that. I was very optimistic going into Arrival, which I think might have dampened my opinion. But I mainly thought that I liked the concept so much that it didn't get into the concept enough for me. Like, the idea of the language translation is very interesting, and I felt like if it would have been more technical with that, and for me, less dramatic, I think I would have liked it more.
Okay. Very fair assessment.
What about you?
I really, really liked it.
Yeah?
And the more time that has passed since I watched it, the more I've grown to like it.
Nice, that's good.
I went out thinking like, yeah, I really liked it, but I think I'm on the verge of like, I really love it.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, I really liked how it was a drama. Like, it was a sci-fi drama, and it focused on some very interesting concepts, which we'll get into later. But it brings up some interesting points, and it's very philosophical and not like a typical movie of this caliber you would see. Like, I'm looking at the poster right now, and it looks like it would be like this sci-fi thriller.
Yeah,
like
totally.
More thriller, like with action, but there's hardly any action in it.
If any.
If any.
Is there
like,
any?
There's maybe like one scene.
There's kind of one.
There's like one
action-y scene.
But even that it's very subtle in how it like comes about executing that. I thought Amy Adams was fantastic.
She was good.
I thought the what really I think makes it for me too is the score. The score, I love the score.
Yeah.
I do. And I thought it was beautifully shot. The cinematography is amazing.
It was super pretty. It looked real nice.
Very pretty film. And it had just a little bit of that Sicario feel that I enjoyed from that movie, of just kind of like this surreal type feeling. And it's shot similar, same composer, so it felt similar to that, but on a sci-fi level. And I just liked how it surprised me along the way. Watching the movie, the whole time I was like, where's this going to go? Like, I have no idea how this is going to end. And having it end in a satisfactory way that makes me feel something, I like it. So this is like the type of film, like Arrival is the type of film that really like I enjoy. It hits home for me. I love alien, space, sci-fi type things, and this has really good sci-fi themes that on some levels it's very cold and kind of scary when you think about the concept of this film.
Yeah.
But also it has a lot of heart too, and I find that rewarding. So yeah, I don't know. I think it might make my top 10.
Oh, whoa, nice.
Yeah, I we
got our top 10 pick.
Got a top 10. Woo-hoo. Yeah, so it hits home for me. It's the type of movie that I would like, and it is that. So
nice.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Nice.
Yeah. So so we can really dive into some real discussion.
Yeah.
We're gonna go into our spoilers starting right now.
More objects have landed around the world.
This is one of 12. I'm never going to be able to speak their words.
Got 2 days. Figure something out.
I am human. It's their language. We need to make sure that they understand the difference between a weapon and a tool. Language is messy, and sometimes one can be both.
Are you dreaming in their language? It's possible they're prodding us to fight among ourselves.
This is just a way to force us to work together for once.
It's more complicated than that.
How is it more complicated?
Russia just executed one of their own to keep their secret.
Got 21 hours
before they start global war.
So how do we clarify their intentions?
I go back in.
Why does this feel worse?
I didn't see the whole time factor coming at all. Like, I didn't know that would even be a thing in this movie.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I enjoyed that.
It was a nice surprise. And it wasn't done in like a cheesy way. You know, it came about and movie was moving along, and then there's that moment where you're just like, it clicks and you're like, I know exactly what's going on now. And that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So
for me, it was just, I guess my main complaint is that I didn't like the device of the daughter. And I know for the like, obviously you like that aspect of it. So I didn't necessarily think it was bad. It was just like, it was something I had seen before, whereas the rest of the movie was something I hadn't seen before. So I was wanting more of that screen time devoted to them teaching aliens words, I guess. But I will say
I feel like there's only so much you can do with that without it being just like boring, you know. But go ahead. Sorry.
I guess it was like they had that one scene where she felt like she was kind of showing Forrest Whitaker, like, look, this is a legitimate thing I'm doing, and this isn't just like, not just some translator. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where she like erases the board and like does the whole thing with the sentence, and it was just like, to me, that was like, language is important, and this is the importance of language, and like, people don't think about language like this.
No. Yeah.
And so like, that was like a small moment of going like, oh yeah, okay. And I think for me, if it was pushed more in that way, I would have been more interested.
Interesting. I find that interesting because, in a way, I felt like one of the reasons why I like this movie is that it doesn't hold your hand. Like, it kind of, you have to follow along with everything that's happening to, like, understand the plot points, and, like, they could have made it way dumber. They could have made it, like, handed everything more to you, but it was a very smart sci-fi, I thought.
Oh yeah, for sure. I did too. And I don't necessarily want them to explain like plot points to me, but I guess I just would have liked the movie to be more about language. I felt like it wasn't necessarily like about language, you know?
Sure. It was it had themes of that, but I don't think it had themes of being about language and what you would do to communicate with a species that we've never seen before. Like, what would that be like?
Yeah.
But also it had the whole other theme of the language itself, which created an ability to perceive time differently. Which, there's a cynical part of me that I will admit that finds that a little silly. That basically she learned a new language and suddenly she has power. She has powers.
Oh yeah, totally. But at the same time, it's like.
But it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie. But that's just a very cynical comment of mine. But it's not even like a complaint. It's just like an observation.
Yeah.
But I do like the concept of the daughter, because it comes down to when you think about time, and if you could see your life in front of you, everything that happens, all the shitty things that you're going to experience in the future, all the loss you're going to experience, because we all experience it, would you still follow that path? And she found that having her daughter and those moments, all those quote-unquote flashbacks were actually obviously flash forwards, but they were all happy moments.
Yeah.
And so if she was able to experience those happy moments, it was worth the pain and agony that she would put herself through, just to have those moments be real. And she decided to do that. And I think that is like heart-wrenching and very moving. And it's like, what would you do in that scenario? Like, what if you saw all this loss and pain, but also saw these very genuine moments of having a child and having these deeply rewarding experiences with them, even knowing that you're going to lose them? Would you still do it? And I feel like that's really, really touching. So that's what I really liked about it. I did tear up a little bit. My girlfriend was bawling. And I've heard other people have cried too. But yeah, I don't know. It's I feel like that makes a good sci-fi movie, not having crazy action, but having sci-fi is about bringing up thoughts and ideas about like the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
And the aliens are just a catalyst for that.
For sure.
And it's cool because these aliens just show up. They don't create any disturbance other than just them landing and floating there. And they're like, we're going to sit here and we're going to wait, and we're going to wait for you guys to figure this out. Because we know that we need you in the future. What'd you think about the alien design?
I thought they looked cool. I liked it.
Yeah. It's like it's very hard to create an alien movie nowadays. That's original.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, I like the idea that they would be nothing like us, because they wouldn't.
Yeah,
like
totally.
These like aliens from another world, another galaxy. It's like they would be nothing like us. And what is that like? And so they made it weird and kind of dark, and because we don't, people fear what they don't understand.
Yeah. So it's just
so it feels strange to us because we don't understand the concept of how they live,
Yeah.
So I thought that was a very interesting way to do it. And then it wasn't all like in your face, like, oh, here's the aliens, here's what they look like. They have a face and they're opening their mouths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they were just like these weird creatures.
Just like knuckle octopuses.
Yeah, they're like nothing like us.
Yeah, they're really weird. And I liked how when she goes in and you see the full one, it's just like, well, I didn't realize that was like a third of the creature. Like...
Yeah, totally.
And they're very weird looking.
That one scene where she is in front of them, that's probably my biggest complaint is the way her hair looked. Like, it just looked too fake.
Looked a little cheap.
It is cheap. I feel like they could have dumbed down the hair a little bit. They didn't. It was clearly all her hair was just all CG.
Yeah, it looked weird. It was mainly like the shading on her face looked like really artificial.
Yeah, the whole thing did.
It was weird.
But that's...
What are you going to do,
Something... What are you going to do? But yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool, too, to... Even though it's like a world-type event, and you and I talk about this all the time, about world-breaking, world-ending events, it was about the other nations and stuff, but it wasn't like destruction across the world. And
yeah,
it was like focused on these people working on just their pod, I really like that.
Yeah. One thing that I think what kind of soured me, because I will say I was like very into the movie for a good portion of it. Like I was like gung-ho, really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
I just like really don't like that she gets with Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, it could have. I get that. For me, sorry, real quick, I'll just say okay. I'm happy that there wasn't any like forced romantic scenes.
Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
It just, I mean, there weren't any like scenes, but it did feel, the relationship felt forced to me.
Yeah, it did, because it was like destined to be or whatever.
Yeah, and I know that they're supposed to work together and whatever, but it's like he's a physicist, and I don't know, it just, he didn't, the whole time there wasn't much to him, and then they just have like a few moments of him caring about her, just like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. I'm overworked. There's a lot of like weird things about people being overworked. It's like Forrest Whitaker being like, got to go see the doctor because I have a Boston accent for some reason. that also was a little weird that he just, all right, get in the cab, we're going to the spaceship.
Yeah, like, what? His accent seemed very artificial.
Yeah, it's like, you don't really need to do this, but anyway.
Just talk like your normal self.
You just like talk normally. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know. The that bothered me. I think the movie could have completely worked exactly how it did if it wasn't Jeremy Renner. It literally felt like...
You're not like the biggest Jeremy Renner fan either, though.
No, that's true. I just think that, like... I mean, the movie... I'm not saying the movie could have worked without his character, but without them getting together, is I guess what I meant.
Yeah.
It felt like his whole character was only there to be a trigger so you would make the connection when you see him with the daughter.
Okay. He was basically comedic relief and to be there for the daughter. Yeah.
And it just felt like, I don't know.
But in their defense, you didn't see that coming at all, though, did you?
No, I did not see that.
That him being the father.
No.
It's like no one did.
But
it's because they didn't have any of like those scenes, you know?
Yeah, it just was a thing where I was like, oh, this is nice. This isn't a love story between them. And then it's like, oh, I guess it is. You know?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, I didn't need that.
I get that. I know where you're coming from. I feel you on that. I don't know. It's just like the other parts of the film made that forgivable for me.
Yeah, I think it was also a thing. It's just I have a problem with movies that like aren't as good in the second half because then I just walk out and feel soured. Where it's like if I looked at like a pie chart of the amount I enjoyed and didn't enjoy of this movie, I would have enjoyed the majority of it, you know? But I just, like, when I left, it didn't work on me, I guess.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. It soured it. But there's definitely good stuff in here. And I would say
surprised. I thought you'd like it a little bit more.
I don't know. Maybe I was just in a weird mood or something when I saw it. But I wasn't, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a cold person. But the emotion wasn't working on me when I watched it. I kind of just was more interested in the concept of like decoding the language and like it just felt like I think also I wouldn't have thought about it as much if they didn't end it so abruptly. It was like they have a sesh, and then
I was gonna say that too.
And then the montage, there's a montage, and then the montage ends, and he's like, "All right, we're going in for our last session. Like, you gotta have your vocabulary list done." And then it's just like, "What? Their last session?" And it's like, "Oh, I guess this is it. Like, this is kind of weird." But also, since we're on the... Sorry, were you about to say something?
No, go ahead.
Just while we're on the talking about this montage, how about that fucking song in the montage? That was amazing. Best part of the whole movie.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I wish... I liked the score a lot, but I do wish there was more stuff like that song throughout the score, because once that happened, I was just like, holy shit, get more stuff like this in here. This is so good.
Yeah. I love the minimalist type score.
Oh, definitely.
Throughout it. It's one of my favorite parts of the whole film is the score. Like it nailed that kind of just unknowing, dark, sciencey, mysterious feel, you know? Like it was just solid.
Totally.
I really dug it. What we were talking about before, in the non-spoiler section was the action scene, which was really just that. What we were talking about was the explosion, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, even that's I guess the big explosion, big action scene,
yeah, quote
unquote. But I mean, even that is just kind of approached like the clock's ticking down, but there was no like dramatic. Like you felt like a sense of uneasiness, but it wasn't like in your face.
Yeah. Because it was just quiet, and it's just like it was just 10 seconds.
Quiet, and it just like happened, and then the aliens just like pushed them back out of the explosion, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that scene was cool.
Kind of respected for that.
Yeah.
But
it was another thing where like it was very close to me really really liking it. That the fact that I got turned off by little stuff makes it like a harder fall. It's just like
Yeah.
No Sicario. That's all I'll say.
Sicario's pretty great, right?
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
I also like his movie Prisoners,
Definitely.
which I actually just bought on Blu-ray because I like this movie so much. I was like, I'm gonna buy Prisoners.
Yeah.
Rewatch that again.
Yeah, I need to rewatch Sicario and Prisoners. He's a good boy. I guess it was just Sicario had the element of surprise for me, where I was really expecting to really like Arrival, and I don't know, just didn't click.
And maybe it was just like placed too high for you. Maybe you just had too many high hopes.
Yeah.
I went in pretty excited, but I went in also very open-minded. Like I didn't know what was going to happen, and I just kind of let it come to me. And I don't know. I wasn't disappointed. In fact, yeah, like I said, I loved it. So
nice.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. But it made me excited for Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I think he's a great director for that.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. I'm still a little nervous about Ryan Gosling, but we'll see.
I'm nervous about the movie in general.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he's a good pick for someone to.
He's a good boy to have at the helm of that if it's gonna happen.
Because this is his first sci-fi film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's good that he got one under his belt before a reboot of one of the biggest sci-fi films of all time.
Totally.
You know? So that's good at least. But I think he'll do a decent job.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite directors that are out right now. I think he's good. He's very much up and coming, you know.
Totally.
He'll make some good stuff in the future. I feel it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely going to check out anything that guy puts out. He's a good boy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. Well, last thing, what do you rate it?
I'm going to give it 3.
Okay. All right. I'll accept that. I'm going 4.5.
Ooh, hot damn, baby.
Yeah, I really liked it. And today, I just, maybe more so today, because I've just been thinking about it all day, knowing we were going to talk about it. I've been listening to the soundtrack all day. It's like, I've been digging it. So maybe all this excitement will die down, but right now I'm like, all like Arrival right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll rewatch it again. I'll be like, oh, it's not as good as I remember. But
who knows? Maybe
right
I'll rewatch it and be like, what the hell was I thinking? This movie's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. So that ends our reviews, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. We got a lot of stuff in there.
A lot of movies.
So, last thoughts on your beer?
It was very tasty. I would get it again.
Dude, you gotta try this one.
Yeah, I'd like to.
It's pretty good.
Sweet potato
Interesting.
beer.
Sweet potato casserole. It's about as Thanksgiving as you can get.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so that'll wrap it up for today. As always, you guys can listen to all of our episodes on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter. You can email us at listentousrantaboutmovies@gmail.com. And you can follow us on Twitter at LTURAM Podcast. And that'll be it. And the song, by the way, you're listening to right now is also going to be, it's also in the intro, was done by our own Zach Harris himself.
Hey. And a little Johnny Gagan.
Pretty good track you guys made.
Thank you.
I dig it. Pretty good. So, it was good talking to you, Zach.
Yeah, good talking to you.
It has been a long time. Glad we got to spit one out.
For sure.
We got some good topics out there. All right. Until next time.
Until next time.